Yeah, and I suppose moving on to some of the club results then, obviously from the weekend. Obviously, I know you didn't see Kilcoo St Finbarrs. Obviously, you were away watching one of the Cavan Club games. But I suppose from a Kilcoo point of view, big win, 118 to 113. Bit of madness at the end of normal time from Aidan Brannigan. But and Kilcoo still able to play with 15 men in extra time, which is quite baffling, really. But look, fair play to them. Like, they keep proving a lot of people wrong. You know, some people saying, are they overrated? Are they this? Are they that? But they showed enough against this Finbarrs team. And at the end of the first half, there was a period really where you thought Finbarrs have Kilcoo rattled, and maybe they might be able to pull off the win. But Kilcoo had enough in extra time to get the victory.
Yeah, look, Aaron, I said this to you a couple of months ago, I think, when we were looking at all Ireland contenders, and I think I'm going to be proven right by this Kilcoo team. They're an absolutely fantastic bunch of players, and I think they probably aren't getting the credit that they deserve. And I know a couple of lads we've been talking that they probably haven't given them, or maybe still don't believe in the hype train that is with Kilcoo. But no, they're a serious team. I keep referencing the fact Conn Gilligan and Mickey Moran along the line, that's serious men to have involved. Paul Devlin is absolutely flying. The Brannigan brothers, absolutely fantastic players. The keeper seems like he's great crack, you know, a larger than life kind of character. So really good setup there, a great win. And they'll be delighted. And I know that just the stupid moment that happened at the end, giving away when they're free to win the game, and you know it goes against them. Was it the Brannigan? Was it which Brannigan that?
Aidan Brannigan.
Aidan Brannigan. So just moment of madness, just probably a brain fart. And look at every walk of life that happens, and unfortunately it happened to him there and then. But look at great result, especially after extra time, to have the legs to get it over the line. Obviously, Kilcoo are going to be very fit. You know, it's going to be a mouth-watering All-Ireland final against Kilmacud now in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, they'll be delighted with that. St Finbarrs, you know, obviously they'll be very disappointed. I think that they really did believe in themselves to win that game. A Cork team, very dogged. Can they go back and maybe help the Cork senior footballers out now? Geez, a bit of a miracle needed up there, so be interested. But yeah, they'll be disappointed. Great win for them. But yeah, Kilcoo, the journey keeps going. They'll want to right the wrong of 2020 All-Ireland final. They'll be mad to win it. The right men's in place. So the sheep farmers keep marching on.
Yeah, and in the other game, then he had Kilmacud Crokes 111, Padraig Pearce's 8 points. It was a very hard watch in the first half, very slow game. You were kind of waiting for it to get going, but Kilmacud Crokes, like, a lot of options coming off the bench as well. Like, you've seen Cian O'Connor coming off the bench, Conor Casey as well. And even without Mannion, they're showing their steel, really, and they're showing their quality all across the pitch. And up, you know, Kilmacud Crokes Kilcoo final. I think that was probably a final a lot of people might have expected, really, like around the start when you were kind of doing all the previews and whatnot. But and there it is, Crokes against Kilcoo in the final.
Yeah, great. Oh, jeez, I can't wait for that. And it's just such a bloody pity it's not in St. Paddy's Day, because God, every Tom, Dick and Harry be going up to that. And I think Kevin McGurdy, CJ, and the boys are talking to my podcast. It's probably a disgrace that has been moved away from St. Paddy's Day, because God, the dog and the tree would be going to that game, but it's unfortunate the way it's changed. But yeah, standard victory. Again, you know, pouring up quality. I think there was a bit of argy-bargy at half time, looked very dodgy. I had to love, I think I sent to the group chat at the weekend, Pat Flanagan shouldering the Kilmacud. I think that's actually what started. Yeah. Did that start the round? Not sure. That round just looked absolutely ridiculous, but Flanagan just looks like a brilliant character. Yeah, so fair play to him, just giving the Kilmacud lad a nudge. But Kilmacud's great steal. Craig Dias was absolutely brilliant. All these boys don't get the credit they deserve. Like even Rory O'Carroll, Aaron. Like Craig Dias had an absolutely brilliant game on Saturday night. He should take great pride in his performance. And then obviously we all know about how good O'Carroll is. They've done so well without Mannion. Mannion, I think, is ruled out for the final. The Kilmacud manager confirmed today, so that's going to be a huge loss. But they trucked on well without him. Padraig Pearce's didn't put much of a fight up. They can be proud of themselves getting that semi-final. Fair play to them. But standard routine victory for Kilmacud. We might have thought, I think you predicted penalties in that game, but God, it didn't look like it was going to go that way at all. But Kilmacud, fair play to them, routine victory, and I tell you what, Aaron, roll on that final.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned Craig Dias as well. Like, and I remember putting it out there before, like, about him potentially coming back into the Dublin team. And I know I think he's in his early 30s maybe, or something around that anyways. But I don't know, like, if maybe he wouldn't want to come back. I really don't know. I suppose you'd have to ask him. But when you looked at Dublin at the weekend against Armagh, like, and how lackluster they looked really around midfield, and we know Brian Fenton's been looking for a partner for quite a while. And obviously Craig Dias was in the Dublin team a few years ago, and it probably didn't go as well as he would have planned anyway.
Probably just doesn't have the interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron, but no, I just don't think he's the interest, and the buy-in maybe from him just doesn't seem to be there. With a lot of maybe them kind of Dublin French players that were back in 2011 or 12, just doesn't seem to be the interest. I'd say the Kilmacud commitment is probably I wouldn't say it's good as, but I'd say it's a massive commitment as is. They're all Ireland finalists, so I'd say the commitment is probably there. He's a sensational player. Like, geez, some of the points he was kicking there Saturday night was brilliant. So he probably would be an option for Dublin, Aaron, but I just don't think he's the interest.
Yeah, and I suppose with an All-Ireland final on the horizon anyway, you couldn't see him coming back in anytime soon. Anyways, GAA Statsman says there as well, Kilcoo, just the fitter outfit, the difference in the end. So proud of the Bars, put a red shirt on every one of those 15. Red card dismissed going into extra time has to be gone. Yeah, absolutely, no doubt about it. So who would you be backing in the final then from here, Crokes or Kilcoo?
God, you'd be a brave man to call that. That particular game, I just think the hurt from 2020 will probably drive Kilcoo on, and I think they'll need, like, knowing Conor Gilligan like you do and Mickey Moore, and I think they'll leave no stones left unturned. I think there'll be a big push to win it this year. So I'd be thinking Kilcoo, obviously with my Ulster hat on, but I just think with maybe, I know Kilmacud had them couple of games of Croker, and people will say that'll be a big factor, but I think there's a big push for Kilcoo this year. So I'd be looking at Kilcoo. I think it's just different this year. They fought back from hard games. They're battle hardened. The players to probably get them over the line, and it just seems like it's different for Kilcoo this year. They've been on an incredible journey. I know those final against Derry Gonley, very bad game of football. Derry Gonley didn't put up much of a test, but I think it's different this year. The hurt from 2020. And the Brannigan brothers are just playing the football of their lives at the minute. So I think it's Kilcoo's year this year. And you're probably Kilmacud this year, do you reckon, or who are you thinking?
It's hard to know, really. Like, I've gone against Crokes a lot of times this year. I went against them in the Dublin final against St. Jude's, and I fancied Naas maybe to turn them over at one stage as well. But fair play, they keep coming back. They keep bouncing back from all the different obstacles that's thrown at them, whether it's a Paul Mannion injury, and they faced a lot of tough opposition along the way. It's very hard to call. I'd probably, I'd love to see Kilmacud Crokes obviously get over the line and get the victory. Like, obviously a big club in the south side of Dublin, and have produced a whole host of top-class footballers down the years, and it'd be great to see them back at the top table again. I think 2009 might have been the last time they won, or maybe a little bit before that. But it'd be huge for them. And look, for Kilcoo, I think they, the most impressive thing from Kilcoo is the amount of different scores they're getting. Like, even in the semi-finals, I think they finished with 10 or 11 different scores, and just mad, really. Like, they've so many different options all across the pitch. Yeah. They don't rely on one or two individual talents, and like, when you look at the team, really, it's not like they've got a whole host of top class inter-county footballers or anything like that. They just work really well together, and they seem to all be in sync, which I think is the most impressive thing.
Well, Aaron, you see, they just know how to mix it, and that's the sign of a good team. Like, if a perfect example, Derry Gonley, they parked the bus. Kilcoo, right? What way do we adapt to that? What do we do when we're in that situation? They know how to get around every situation. Like, when one of the Brannigan brothers run, the lad obviously wears the skins and the odd boots, and keeps getting a lot of praise and crack at the weekend. But God, if he's putting the ball over the bar, I know people's going to care what he's wearing, but he had a great game at the weekend. But when they all move. Like, they have a plan B for basically every situation, and that is the sign of a good team. And I just don't think they probably get the credit that they deserve, because God, they're putting in some shift this year. And I keep saying it, like, when you've obviously Mickey Moore and Conor Gilligan, you are going to go places. And, I just think it is their year this year. But no, they are seriously impressive. When your wing backs are scoring outrageous scores, that's when you know you're in business. I really like Paul Devlin. I think he's a fantastic finisher up front. Obviously, we all know about Jerome Johnson. Like, Conor Lafferty as well. Great brains of the game, Aaron. Like, they really do have it all. And I don't know what they're going to do to get the praise that they deserve, because there is probably a lot of people that's not convinced by them. But God almighty, even if they win the All-Ireland, maybe people might take notice then.
Yeah, like, I suppose Sheelan Johnson and Michal Rooney as well, I thought were very impressive. And obviously Noel Kane in goal. Very experienced goalkeeper there. Like,
yeah, and like, having Conor Lafferty on the pitch is like having a third manager, because he obviously has his he was at the down under 20s. He's with Trinity College as a GAA coach there as well, so he knows the ins and outs of the game. He's smart, he's cute. He was on the down senior football panel for 10-12 years. That's like having another manager on the pitch.